Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right guys, welcome back. This is Eric here with Moss Pawn & Gun. And today we're going to be talking about the Zqi Heavy, otherwise known as the Zqi 17S. This is a rifle that I've owned this particular rifle for about a year and a half, and I've been shooting it a good bit, trying to get used to it, develop an opinion on it, and I felt that it was probably about the right time to go ahead and get a review on this gun knocked out. And we try to have a lot of fun on this channel. We try to enjoy ourselves, and we hope it comes through in the videos. But I take rifle reviews pretty seriously, especially when it's a gun that, you know, this gun kind of fits into the life and liberty category. So we're not going to joke around with reviews like this. We want to make sure we're putting out information that's going to matter to folks, especially when you get into a gun like this, and it is a very expensive rifle, and especially the way this one's equipped. It's got a lot of bells and whistles on it that we're going to break apart and discuss here for you as we go. We've got the gun topped off with a Leupold Mark IV. All right, many of you guys know the Mark IV series. It's pretty much a good standby for the military. The military puts the Mark IVs on everything. So it's a 4.5 to 14 by 50 millimeter scope, all right. Very simple optic overall to use, very rugged. That's one of the nicest things about the Leupold Mark IV, is a very rugged optic. This particular one I got from Optics Planet. Very good customer service, good people to work with. If you ever need optics, they're a good place to go through. The mount that it's sitting in is a LaRue LT104 one-piece mount. Very high quality, quick release mount. I bought that directly from LaRue Tactical. They're based out of Texas. All right, so if any of you guys ever need a good scope mount, the LaRues are hard to beat. They're a little bit on the pricey side, but you get what you pay for. Now onto the gun itself. It's a .308 caliber, short stroke gas piston operated semi-automatic rifle with a rotating bolt. Okay, it has a very large and massive carrier, which you'll see in a moment. The bolt rotates just like on many other service rifles. The short stroke piston operation can be compared to like the M1 carbine. Okay, very similar and almost like a short tappet system like you'd see in a Sega 12. Basically just has a tappet, smacks the front of the carrier. The carrier has a lot of mass. It rides to the rear. Everything's good to go. The barrel's 16.5 inches and it's a 1 in 12 right-hand twist. The barrels on these guns are chrome lined, hard chrome. So that helps with maintenance in the field, keeping them clean. Some folks will tell you that a chrome lined barrel is not as accurate as a non-chrome lined barrel. But one thing the Zqi has going for it, it's definitely a very accurate rifle, as we're going to get into here in a moment. We're going to be running some Zqi M80 ammunition, just standard .308 ball. All right, this stuff is lot tested to ensure less than a minute of angle at 100 yards. That's what they claim. I've done a good bit of work with this particular ball ammo. Tends to run pretty dang good. It's Turkish produced. You can get that particular ammo through MKE. Pretty high quality stuff. Now, having had this rifle for around a year and a half or so, I've been shooting the piss out of it, and I've shot everything from South African military surplus to random lots of M80 ball from various manufacturers. I've shot PPU out of it. I've shot Federal ball. I've shot the ZQI out of it. I've fired some of the MagTech 308. That stuff is marked CBC on the head stamp. And it's all about the same. When you get into ball ammo, a lot of folks asked questions about this gun saying, hey, well, how accurate is it? What can it do? We'll get a little bit more into that as we go, but let me just finish off this mag and shoot it a little bit more. Dang gun makes short work of about anything you can see with it. If you can see it and you can shoot decent, you can hit it. I mean, this gun is capable of engaging, targets out to easily 800 yards if you know what you're doing, if not further than that with the right ammo. Talk about that in a moment. All right, we got the barrel heated up here. Let's see if we can kill our gopher. Well guys, I mean, you can see here at just over 200 yards, got the gun warmed up pretty good there, just kind of a little bit of informal plinking here from the bench, trying to showcase what the gun's capable of doing. Made short work of our gopher there at 200, 300 yard target, offering very little resistance. We are going to put this rifle out to 440 later and shoot it pretty much at the longest range we have available. With ball ammo, at 200 yards earlier, we were cutting a couple of groups, getting her sighted in, and it was shooting about a 2-inch group at 200 yards, which is pretty dang acceptable for ball ammunition. We'll get into a few of the things that I do like about the gun, and then we'll get into some of the things that I don't like about it as we go. SCAR, okay, everybody asks, you know, where that abbreviation comes from. It's Special Operations Forces Combat Assault Rifle, and then they shorten it to SCAR. All right, and that's where it comes from. This firearm was one of the firearms designs that was submitted to replace the M4. You know, the Army just seems like well, the military in general seems like they're always putting on trials to try to come up with an excuse to replace the M4. Well, I want to say around 09, 2010, I mean, we're talking pretty modern, guys. This all happened within the last five to 7 years or so. Around 2010, 2011, they sent out a bunch of SCAR lights. Now, they also produced this gun, what they call the SCAR Light. The SCAR 16 is a 5.56 variant. We're talking about the 308. We're talking about the heavy, okay? On the civilian market, they're really only available in a couple of basic configurations, and that's with the 16.5-inch barrel. They shipped a bunch of them over to Afghanistan. Troops played around with them, shot at some people with them, decided they didn't like the SCAR Light. They didn't like the 16. So they went back to the drawing board and they said, well, we're not buying any more of the 16s, but we will take the 17s. Now, what they're offering, or at least what they're going to look at doing, and from everything that I could read about it, with the SCAR Heavy, there's an ability to change it over to different calibers and everything like that. So you do have a quick change barrel system, which makes caliber changes a snap. As far as that's concerned on the civilian market, I don't know how far along we are on that yet. I mean, as far as I know, 308 is the only cartridge you're going to be able to shoot out of this platform for now. Now, later we might see some 6.5, you know, offerings out there, maybe some different Wildcats or other barrels you can get for them. But for now, you just pretty much got 7.62 by 51, 308, all right? So in terms of the civilian market, these are imported from Belgium. The rifles that are produced for our fighting men and women are produced here in the U.S. That's one of the rules for developing a service rifle or any kind of service weapon, is that it has to be domestically produced. So FN built a plant here and they make them here. Now, this gun is brought in from Belgium and they come in, and of course they're not 922R compliant. They got to chop on them, play on them, replace a few parts, and they have to make them 922R compliant in order to sell them in this configuration. Now, this gun is not in the exact configuration that they're available when you buy them from the store. It ships with a standard AR-15 grip on it. I've replaced it with a Magpul. It's kind of rubberized, and I like that on this particular SCAR. There are a lot of aftermarket accessories for this gun that are out there, but it's pretty much bone stock for the most part. The barrel is threaded 5/8 by 24 right hand. So we opted to take, it ships with a PWS brake on it. It's very effective, and it's a very comfortable brake, although very loud. We've changed that out for an AAC 51.2 3-prong flash hider. We are going to be running the gun with the suppressor today here in a little bit. That's one thing I will mention. It does have suppressor settings, which is great, okay? You got a full-on gas setting, and it has suppressor-specific gas setting, so you can crank your gas down and run a cam without beating the gun or the suppressor to death, all right? So that's one of the nice things about it. One complaint that I will stage right now, I'm not crazy about the reciprocating charging handle, okay? The charging handle rides left or right side, depending on how you want to run it, but still, it does reciprocate. It is attached to the carrier. Now, one of the nice things about having the charging handle on the left side of the firearm is if I need to charge it, say the bolt's forward, I can simply pull the bolt back and hit my thumb right here, and I can grab the mag catch. All right, all the controls are right there. So that makes it easy, although my knuckles are right in the way of this LaRue mount. Now this LaRue mount's great, but if you're in a hurry and you're not wearing gloves, you're gonna bust your knuckles up trying to, you know, lock the bolt to the rear. So it's always a good idea. If you're running this gun in any type of competition, or you're running 3-gun or whatever you're doing, it helps to have a good pair of gloves, because things like that inevitably will happen. Now some people will say, well, the reciprocating charging handle is a detriment to me and I don't like it. My response to that would be, well, guess what? Combat's tough, all right? Stuff happens, all right? If you're worried about cracking your little baby finger on the little charging handle, just get over it, okay? I mean, I'm pretty sure that if it's good enough for SEALs and Rangers and Special Forces and all these guys that have pretty much came in like, look, we don't like the light, but we love the heavy. They have to like it for a reason, guys. So what is this gun used for? Like, what is it useful for? Why would someone want this particular rifle? Well, my particular view of it is that it is a special purpose rifle, or a designated marksman rifle, a precise rifle that can also double as a battle rifle. So there's some people out there that go, well, the Scar Heavy is in the battle rifle category, the Scar Heavy is in the DMR category. I think a lot of that comes down to your disposition and how you are as a marksman, if you can shoot it good enough, the quality of optic and mounting system you have for said optic on the gun, okay, the ammunition you're using, and guess what? It all comes down to tactics. A lot of folks say, well, I want to buy a sniper rifle. Well, a sniper rifle, the only thing that's a sniper rifle is a rifle that a sniper's using in the fulfillment of his duties as a sniper. Now, if it's a suppressed 1022 and I'm using a suppressed 1022 in the role of a sniper, then guess what? It's a sniper rifle. So a lot of folks get hung up on the purpose of the gun, what it's intended for. Guys, this rifle is quite at home out on the ranch. If you're riding around in your truck and you need to kill a coyote or something, or you need to, whatever you need to do, it fills a wide variety of different niches. Now, for some folks, you might not want a truck gun banging around for the price that these things sell for. I mean, this particular rifle is quite expensive. Going on to some of the things that we've changed, not to jump around, but we did add the Geissele Super Scar trigger. Now, that is a vast improvement over the stock trigger, okay? I would always recommend dropping a Geissele in any Tavor, any Scar. It's just a wonderful trigger. It's got a nice clean take up, a nice smooth break, a nice clean reset, no over travel. It's a great trigger. And from my perspective, if you're gonna drop, you know, 2,800 bucks or $3,000 on a gun, what's another, you know, bit of money to buy the trigger to put in it that you want? What's a little bit more money to buy the suppressor you want and the mount? That just kind of all comes with the territory, all right? You know, by the time you factor in the cost of this Leupold Mark IV, the mount, the trigger, the muzzle device, the suppressor, probably looking at close to $6,000 by the time it's all said and done. You're gonna have some money in a rig like this. So you have to ask yourself, all right, so for that kind of money, I mean, what good is it to me? Well, it just really comes down to what you like. The stock does fold, which is kind of nice. So they were able to make some minor changes to the recoil system to allow for a folding stock. That's always nice if you're getting in and out of vehicles and everything like that. I don't know if they're going to be available this year or close to early next year, but FN is going to be releasing the 20-inch version of this gun very soon. I don't know like official release dates or anything like that. But this particular one has the 16.5-inch barrel, and then they'll be offering the 20-inch barrel. And you better believe there's going to be a certain someone's going to be picking that rifle up. So getting on to a few things that I do and don't like. One thing I don't like is a slow twist. It's got a 1 in 12-inch right-hand twist that I'm not crazy about. Most guys that run this type of gun say I want to run it as a DMR. I want to run it as a designated marksman rifle, a very accurate rifle that I can pinpoint, you know, put my shots exactly where I want them at 500-600 yards, at battlefield ranges. You need a round that can also deliver the goods too. You know, a guy that's going to go out and fulfill his duties as a sniper or a designated marksman, he's going to have ammo that is of good quality. He's going to have match grade ammo. He's going to have good ammo that can do the job. So my thing is, a 1 in 12 is a little bit on the slow side. If I'm going to run a 175 grain projectile, a 168 grain projectile, a 1 in 12 will do it, but a 1 in 10 would be a little more optimal. So I hope what they'll do, when they do the 20-inch gun, I really hope they opt for a 1 in 10 twist. You know, I'd like to see the 20-inch version of this gun with a heavy-ish barrel, not too heavy, but a heavy-ish barrel with a 1 in 10 twist. That way you get 2 full rotations of the projectile, good stabilization for some of the heavier match grade pills that we're all used to running. Now, with that being said, this 16.5-inch barrel is nice and rigid. Even with the 1 in 12 twist, it'll stabilize 175s pretty good. Okay, the gun shoots excellent, as you'll see here in a little bit. But I'm going to run the gun a little bit more. One other detriment to the Scar, and some people hate it, some people like it. I don't really care because, as you can see, I have plenty of magazines here. It does use a proprietary magazine. You have to buy their magazine. So it's not like, you know, even though this is based on an FAL magazine, you're not going to find a pile of surplus FAL mags and expect them to just drop right in the Scar and work. Now, I've heard that with some modifications, cutting the window and all this, my thing is, guys, the mags are 40 bucks. If you got the money to buy the gun, you probably got the money to buy the magazines. Okay, so magazines are proprietary and they're expensive. Okay, they're not that bad, but they are expensive. The gun is available in black and then a flat dark earth mix master is what I call it. I like black because black goes with everything, and so a lot of polymer construction through and throughout. You've got a polymer lower, polymer stock. The disassembly and breakdown of the gun is extremely easy. There's nothing to it. The carrier is massive, large, not a whole lot of moving parts, very easy to disassemble and clean should you choose to. The tappet system's not all that difficult to get out. The gas system adjustments, very easy to do, even, you know, in the field. So no mystery there. The gun does ship with backup irons. In terms of the features of the gun, I think I've discussed most of the base features and kind of what I do and do not like about the gun. We are going to go ahead and slap the suppressor on it. I think this thing is cooled down enough now. I'm just going to go ahead and switch it to the suppressor setting. When the gas plug is in the 12 o'clock position, you're on full-on gas. When you rotate it over to the 9 o'clock position, you're at reduced gas for suppressor use. All right, so we're going to drop a AAC SDN6 on this gun. All right, that cranks right on. I'm not going to run it with hearing protection. Okay, we're just going to run it naked here and just see how it sounds. Getting some major point of impact shift. It's definitely not indicative of what happened to us the other day here. Oh yeah, gun's definitely not shooting too bad, guys. 300 yards is pretty much child's play for the Scar. You know, in this video, I definitely want to make sure I explain the features of the rifle and some of the things I liked and I didn't like. 300 yards, definitely not too bad at all. We're going to run up the hill here and try some shots at 440. One little fact I want to sort of just kind of tell you guys about with this particular gun that in my experience, all right, I mean, I've had this gun for a pretty good while, and I feel like I've been behind it enough to feel comfortable, you know, talking about just about anything I want on it. We were at a 1,000-yard range in Valparaiso, Indiana, doing a little bit of shooting with Tim at Military Arms Channel. And my wife had never even shot a 308 semi-auto at all, okay? And this was even before we had the Geisley trigger in it. I didn't even have the Geisley trigger in it yet. And I don't even think I had this optic on it then. I think I had like a Vortex 1-4 PST, which is an excellent optic. But anyway, we had some 175 grain match ammo, and we got the gun sighted in for around 500 yards, and we dialed in for 500. And my wife had never even shot this gun before, and she sat behind it, and I kid you not, it was probably a 16-mile-an-hour crosswind that day, and my wife still managed to shoot about a 4.5-inch group at 500 yards with this Scar. So that should tell you right there about the consistency of this platform. It is an accurate platform, it's very consistent. The accuracy is definitely good. I would consider it a perfect contender as a DMR. I mean, that's definitely where it lives. I mean, you're talking, the kind of accuracy we're getting out of this rifle at 300 is, you're talking headshot accuracy. So let's poke out the 440 here, finish this little video out, and we'll see how things roll along. Before we do that, real quick though, I want to tell you guys, you're probably wondering what this armor is sitting right here. Well, this is just a little Condor carrier I picked up. It's not anything overly fancy, but I want to tell you guys about these mag pouches. I was kind of searching around trying to find more or less an ideal mag pouch for Scar mags, and you guys may or may not be familiar with a company called Tactical Tailor. Tactical Tailor produced these particular pouches, and I remember when Tactical Tailor was still a very small company. When I deployed to Iraq, it's been over 10 years ago, but when I deployed to Iraq, there was a lot of guys in my company and a lot of guys in our battalion that were buying Tactical Tailor load-bearing vests and pouches and hydration carriers and things like that. And at the time, he was a very small company, you know, not producing a ton of stuff at that point. But I'm glad to see that his company's grown to what it is now, and I wanted to just show off these really nice mag pouches. Guys, he didn't give them to me or anything like that. I bought everything. I bought everything you see, but the thing is, I just want to give him a shout out because a lot of people don't know about Tactical Tailor, and they make excellent stuff. It's all American made. Let's run up the hill, take a few more shots with the Scar. All right, everybody, well, we got up here to the 440-yard mark. This is the longest available distance we have to shoot on the farm here. The Scar Heavy's been doing excellent today, which I kind of knew that was going to be the case. We've got more of the Zqi M80 ball ammunition. I kind of hinted earlier that we'd be doing a little bit of work with maybe some match ammo and some long-range accuracy testing. That's probably going to warrant a second look at this rifle as time goes on, especially as we have a chance to, you know, develop maybe some hand loads in the future, getting a little bit better hand loads shooting in it. Overall, though, I hope that you can see the practical accuracy of this firearm. It's definitely, in the right hands, a very precise tool. I mean, I look at it as a shooting tool. You know, it does have its shortcomings. It's got things that, you know, people don't like about it, but the detriments are definitely minor compared to the strong points the rifle has going for it. So I'm going to take some shots here just from the bench rest. I'm not trying to do anything silly here. I just want to take a few shots to see what the gun can do. We're testing the gun here. This isn't about what I can do. Anybody can sit behind a bench rest and shoot a gun in this manner. So the reason we like to bench rest guns is to show the consistency of the firearm, of the platform. This is a gun review. Let's take a few shots. I'm just going to go for about a 3 mil hold, Chad. Okay. I'm going to shoot the big gong, just see what we're at.
Yeah, a little high center, but windage is perfect.
10-4. All righty.
Just off the right edge. Perfect elevation.
I saw it.
Yep. Just off the right side. Give it about maybe a half a mil hold to the left.
I'm going to do something scary, and I'm going to dial for a change instead of holding. All right, ready?
Send slow. Bring your aim up a half mil. Got it. Slow. You're on.
All right, we're gonna try the little popper just for fun. Ready?
Send it. Yep. Slow. Yep. Yep.
A little low.
Just slightly. Yep.
Wow. I mean, guys, the thing is, there are a lot of different platforms out there that can do the job that this rifle's doing. You know, for some people, Scar Heavy might be cost prohibitive. It is an expensive gun. All right, I get that. Magazines, expensive. There's a lot going for the platform, and then there are other things that are going against it. I understand that. But I tell you what, guys, it's really hard to beat this rifle. You know, I've been a pretty large proponent for this rifle for the last year and a half or so that I've owned this gun. Everybody that I've let shoot this gun has been very impressed with it. I mean, I'm hitting an 8-inch popper with ball ammo. I'm not even using match ammo. I'm using ball ammunition, M80 ball ammunition, and at over 400 meters, headshots. I mean, how much more accurate does it need to be? Now, granted, if I fed it some match ammo, sure, we're going to get a lot better accuracy. Eventually, we're going to get a really nice hand load working up for this gun, and we're going to take this thing out to some scary long ranges to show you guys what a gas-operated 308 can really do to get rounds out there. I mean, I've personally witnessed these guns take on some pretty amazing feats of accuracy at long range. You know, the other day, we were doing a little bit of work with just ball ammo, and we were getting just under 1.5 minute groups with ball ammo with boring regularity, even as the gun heated up and everything. So I definitely want to take a moment to say thanks for watching this video. I know that it was a little long and hopefully not dry, but with gun reviews, we take these kind of things very seriously to make sure that we really get into the meat and potatoes of what makes the gun operate, what makes the gun, in my mind, special. I mean, obviously, we're not going to do a video on something we think's just a total turd, right? So from my perspective, this is a gun that I've been wanting to review. I've wanted to like it. I bought the gun, you know what I mean? People that get on YouTube and look at reviews are going to be at them for a couple of different reasons. One reason is to seek validation for something that they might have already done. You might have bought a Scar already and just want to see what I thought about it. That's fine. I can't tell you how many Scar reviews I looked up trying to find information on this gun before I bought it. The information's just not out there. So for one, that's one of the reasons we want to make this review, so people would understand the features of the gun and kind of what sets it apart from the rest of the competition that's out there. But then two, you might have the kind of guy who's on the fence, who's got $3 burning a hole in his pocket, and he's like, well, man, I don't know, $3's a lot of dang money to pop on one gun. Well, you're right, it is. It is. But the best advice that I can give to you is enjoy it. Spend the money, get the gun, enjoy it. I mean, it is an expensive rifle, yes, but look at it like sports cars. This is like a sports car in the semi-auto 308 rifle realm. Would I go buy an Aston Martin and cruise around and zip around in that thing if I couldn't afford expensive parts when something broke down? Or, you know, sticker shock is not going to be a problem for the people that can truly appreciate the features. I mean, unfortunately, guys, it's just a rifle that's just dang expensive. You know, I hate the idea that a rifle that uses all of the polymer that this does, it does translate to very lightweight, but you would also think that maybe the cost price point could come in a little bit on the lower side. So if I could say one complaint would definitely be the price of the gun being a little bit expensive, and then some of the before mentioned, you know, minor function issues that might give some people some grief. But again, thank you for watching today's video. If you've got a favorite rifle of yours that you just love, that you want us to showcase, let me know, and if it's something I got in my collection, we'll be happy to accommodate it. So thanks for watching, guys. I love my Scar Heavy. I hope that if you ever get a chance to shoot one, you'll love it too. Have a good one. See you next time.